So now we're going to turn our attention to the book of Mark, chapter 1, verses 16 through 20. And it says, as Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon Peter, and his brother Andrew, casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Come, follow me, Jesus said, and I will send you out to fish for people. At once they left their nets and followed him. When he had gone a little further, he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John in a boat, preparing their nets. Without delay, he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired men and followed him.
This is Teachable Moments with April podcast Bible study from The Greatest Man Who Ever Lived. Chapter 22. 4 Disciples Are Called. After the murderous attempt on Jesus' life in his hometown of Nazareth, he moves to the city of Capernaum near the Sea of Galilee. This fulfills another prophecy of Isaiah, and it is the one that foretold that people of Galilee, dwelling by the sea, would see a great light. Now, as Jesus carries on his light-bearing work of kingdom preaching here, he locates 4 of his disciples. These had traveled with him earlier, but went back to their fishing business when they returned with Jesus from Judea. Likely, Jesus now searches them out, since it is time to have steady, regular helpers whom he can train to carry on the ministry after he's actually gone. So as Jesus is walking along the seashore and sees Simon Peter and his companions washing their nets, he goes over to them. He climbs into Peter's boat and asks him to pull away from land. Now, when they get out a little distance, Jesus sits down in the boat and begins teaching the crowds on the shore. Afterward, Jesus says to Peter this, "Pull out to where it is deep, and you men let down your nets for a catch." "Instructor," Peter replies, "for a whole night we toiled and took nothing, but at your bidding I will lower the nets." Now when the nets are lowered, such a great multitude of fish are caught that the nets began to actually rip. Urgently, the men motioned to their partners in a boat nearby to come and help. Soon, both boats are filled with so many fish that they begin to actually sink. Now, seeing this, Peter falls down before Jesus and says this, "Depart from me, because I am a sinful man, Lord." "Stop being afraid," Jesus answers. "From now on, you will be catching men alive." Now Jesus also invites Peter's brother Andrew. "Come after me," he urges them, "and I will make you fishers of men." Their fishing partners, James and John, and their sons of Zebedee, are given the same invitation, and they too respond without any hesitation. So these 4 They actually abandon their fishing business and become the first 4 of Jesus' steady, regular followers. So for this particular chapter, we'll be reading from Luke chapter 5, verses 1 through 11. We're going to be looking at Matthew chapter 4, verses 13 through 22. Then we turn our attention to the book of Mark, chapter 1, verses 16 through 20, and lastly Isaiah chapter 9, verse 1 and 2. Now this chapter also has 3 questions. The first question is, why does Jesus call his disciples to follow him? And who are these? Who are these? The second question is, what miracle actually frightens Peter? And the third question is, what type of fishing does Jesus invite his disciples to do?
And our last Bible verses that we're going to look at is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verses 1 through 2. "Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for those who are in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of